Hi guys, it's Donna from Finding My Light, and I want to tell a quick little story about my past. I want to show you just how low my self-worth, my self-confidence was, and how bad it got. And one thing that I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, if you see a flying around here, I'm sorry. It's driving me absolutely up the wall, and I'm trying to ignore him, but nothing I can do about it. Country, and they're just here, and I've said this in every video, but I just don't like them flying around in the camera, but I can't do anything about it. Anyway, hi, my name is Donna from Finding My Light, if you are new. Um, let's tell a little story about how low I was willing to go just to feel like I fit in as a teenager. When I was about 15 years old, I used to go to my cousin's house a lot, and next door was this brother and sister and that were about my age. She was a little bit younger than me, and he was like a year or so older than me, although he ended up in the same grade as me. But anyway, I kind of developed a little bit of a crush on him, and boy, I don't know why. But anyway, he was considered a quote unquote one of those bad boys. But I wanted to fit in so bad and feel like I was a little bit normal as a teenager that there were some things that I was willing to do, and it's embarrassing. And I was willing to stoop. I don't know what the right word is. I didn't know my self worth, and I was willing to sacrifice my self worth, my self confidence, just to feel like I fit in. Him and I would talk, and I don't want to say flirty, as I was horrible at flirting, a super shy kid, and it was very awkward for me, but it was very clear that I liked him. And I think that he liked me too, but because I was heavier, he didn't want to be seen with me like far as like anything else other than okay, she's friends with her cousins too, other than just a friend, I guess. I don't know how else to say that, but anyway, we would flirt back and forth, or what I think is flirting, I don't know. And I knew something was off about him, but I ignored it because I just wanted to be. This is the weird part. There's a part of me that just wanted to feel like I had a boyfriend. So, and I wanted to feel like normal because at 15 you start doing that whole dating thing for most people do. And I was one of those ones that didn't. Several reasons why. One, I was super shy. Two, I was not part of any clique in school, not even the unpopular kids. I was just had a couple friends, one really close friend, and that was it. Literally. I pretty much kept to myself. I pretty much didn't put myself out there. So I can't blame it all on just being overweight. But overweight played a big part of it because I was so told every day, every single day of my high school, and I mean this, that I was fat and worthless, and somehow that made me less than or below other people. That I just didn't think it was why try when I'm not as good as everybody else type thing. It's very sad how low my self-esteem got and my self-worth, and there's another word that I just cannot think of that I want to use. But anyway, one night he called me because he had my phone number because I used to talk to his sister, and he asked me to go out with him. He wanted to be my boyfriend, but here's the deal: I had to be a secret girlfriend because he had a reputation to keep. And I think about it now, thinking, "Oh my gosh, Tom, you were." I mean, it's embarrassing and it's sad, but I have to laugh or I'm gonna cry. I was. I wish I had the foresight that I have right now, but anyway, I was super excited, but in my house, you had to get permission from your parents to see anybody. Why I thought I had to, I don't know, because if it was a secret, no one would know, right? But I still had to do it. It was just something. Anyway, I just couldn't. The deal was he would be my boyfriend, but I couldn't tell anyone. And I think really what it came to down to, and this is embarrassing, and I would have never. He just didn't realize it. I think that he thought I would be easy, that it would be just somebody that he can, the friends with benefit thing. I was not that kind of girl. Just was not. I didn't believe in it. At that time, I was still, you know, involved in the church. And, I wasn't, yeah. I don't think I was ready for that at that age. And I know that some people are, most people are at that age. But wish I could say that a year later because that's another story. But at that time, no. But anyway, I was so excited. It's like, okay. And I talked to my mom, and she just said no. She was not comfortable with him. She didn't like, kind of, she didn't get a good feeling from him that he wasn't right for me. And I just thought she was just, you're always trying to keep, how it was a typical teenager thing. I thought that she was trying to ruin my life. And boy, was she a blessing. I didn't realize it at the time. I did not much later after that. But anyway, I didn't end up going out with him. And I look back now, and about a year later, not even a year later, probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10 months later, it wasn't very long when I learned, number one, he had some major issues. And I'm going to be very delicate here and try not to say too much because there is other people that are victims that I don't want to expose. I don't even know if expose is the right word, but it's not my place to tell, their story. But the first and foremost, I found out that he sniffed gas. Yeah, gasoline. I knew he always smelled a little bit like gas, but they worked on cars a lot, and they're extremely poor. And I mean, there was times they didn't even have running water. And I just thought it was from that. But then I found out, no, he would get high. And I'm not about the drug life. Never was. Never had any desire. I knew people who took drugs, and I saw people take drugs, but it was something that I was never pulled to. I was way too scared or skittish to do anything like that. And I'm grateful for that, actually. But anyway, so there was the first red flag. And then probably a couple years later, what happens? He got him and his sister and himself. Something happened. I'm not telling the story. They got put into foster care at like 16 years old, and he ended up going to my school. Oh, talk about embarrassing! And all of a sudden, he wanted to be kind of friends, and I wanted to feel like I was cool and that I was popular, but to kind of show off to him. But anyway, I found out later that he was always fighting in that school. He didn't get along with anybody at that school. He was a very angry person, and I'm sure he's probably because of his childhood. But still, he was very violent, very argumentative with everybody. Um, he didn't have a good first impression on anybody, and I found out that he's an abuser in more ways than one. And I'm thinking, man, if I was a secret girlfriend, what could have happened? Because I'm talking like he would hit women and he would do worse things to women. And I am extremely grateful to my mother because without, again, my mother playing the angel that she was, she always knew when to step into my life. I don't want to say step in my life, she's always in my life, but there was times that my mother saved my life. And I think I don't know if I've ever told the story, but another time I'll tell you another time where she literally saved my life, literally. And she probably literally did here too. And boy, was I grateful that my mother saw that he was not good for me and saw past what I just wanted to feel like I fit in, that I had a boyfriend. I had such low self-worth that it clouded my thinking, and it clouded I was willing to lower my standards and lower my morals just so I could feel for a minute that I had some kind of typical teenager experience. And what could have happened is I could have had an untypical teenager experience that could have even messed up my life even more than I already had a messed up life. So, yeah, that's the time that I was willing to be a part-time, not even, I don't know why I say part-time, a secret girlfriend that I was willing to, and I think what that really was code for is he just wanted somebody to, sleep with, and it wouldn't have happened anyway, at least not with my consent. And yeah, and I was just so happy and so excited when he first asked me that I look back and think, how messed up was this? How messed up was my brain and myself, and I think I had low self-worth and self-confidence. Now, well, no, I believe mine's getting better. I don't want to keep saying it's that bad, but it was so bad back then that I was willing to give up my dignity, and I was better than him. And I don't like saying that because it always makes me feel like I'm conceited. But the truth is, I was better than him. But I was willing to lower my standards just so I could say I was with somebody. And I don't really think I liked him in the end. Like I just wanted to feel like I belonged, because as y'all know, that's something that I struggle with, is I don't feel like I belong anywhere, and I still don't feel like I belong anywhere. I still struggle with that. I still struggle with finding my place in this world, even at 54 years old. So, anyway, that is my story about just how low my self worth was back then, and that's just one story out of many that I'm going to start sharing with you all about just how messed up my thinking in my life was at the time. I don't even know how to explain it, because I had a good childhood, yet I had a bad one. I don't know how to explain it. I had a mother who loved me unconditionally. We had some good times with my dad, but yet there was times that were really messed up. So, but this is just one of them. I look back and I think, man, I dodged a bullet with this one, and I was willing to lower my standards just to feel normal. That's how bad my life got. Is I just never fit in, school's constant bullying, but I was willing to do anything to feel a little bit like a teenager. So, okay guys, that's all I've got for you today. Whew. I don't know if it is as bad as I think it was, or it's not, or is, I don't know. Anyway, have a good day. I hope you enjoy. I don't know if enjoy is right, but I just hope that I showed you just how bad my self worth got. But until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.